Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Cheva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiriye Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. So continuing with the discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 2, entitled Remembrance of Lord Krishna, text number 17 onwards. So Uddhava is further speaking to Vidurji. Dunoti cheta smaruto mameta yadaha padau abhivandya pitro tatamba kansaduru sankitananam prasidatam no akrit nishkritinam. Lord Krishna begged pardon from his parents for their Krishna and Balram's inability to serve their feet due to being away from home because of great fear of Kansa. He said, "O mother, O father, please excuse us for this inability. All this behavior of the Lord gives me pain at heart." So this was after Krishna Balram came back from Vrindavan and they killed Kansa in the wrestling arena after killing all the wrestlers that Kansa had arranged to kill Krishna Balram. And after killing Kansa, they freed their parents, Devaki, Mother Devaki and Vasudevji. And then he is saying this to Krishna, is saying, "Oh mother, oh father, please excuse us for this inability." This Krishna actually said because Devaki Mata, after seeing Krishna's strength in killing Kansa, she was so bewildered. She was thinking, this cannot be my son. This has to be Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Krishna wanted the motherly love from her. So he said things like this. So Devaki Mata came out of that mode of opulence, awe and reverence, and she came into motherly love mood. It appears that Lord Krishna and Baladev were both very greatly afraid of Kansa, and therefore they had to hide themselves. See, Prabhupada, it appears that they cannot be afraid of Kansa. Kansa is nobody for them. But if Lord Krishna and Baladev are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, how was it possible that they were afraid of Kansa? Is there any contradiction in such statements? Vasudev, due to his great appreciation for Krishna, wanted to give him protection. He never thought that Krishna was a Supreme Lord and could protect himself. He thought of Krishna as a son. Because Vasudeva was a great devotee of the Lord, he did not like to think that Krishna might be killed like his other children. Morally, Vasudeva was bound to deliver Krishna to the hands of Kamsa because he had promised to turn over all his children. But out of his great love for Krishna, he broke his promise. And the Lord was very pleased with Vasudeva for his transcendental mentality. He did not want to disturb the intense affection of Vasudeva. And thus he agreed to be carried by his father to the house of Nanda and Yashoda. And just to test the intense love of Vasudeva, Lord Krishna fell down in the waters of the Yamuna while his father was crossing the river. Vasudeva became mad after his child as he tried to recover him in the midst of the rising rivers. So this Prabhupada is talking about when Krishna appeared and Vasudeva took him to Gokul, to the house of Nanda Baba and the Yashoda Maya. So again, that's a very beautifully described pastime of Krishna going to Gokul from Mathura. So just to give you a little background of that. So when Krishna appeared in the prison of Kansa, Devaki and Vasudeva were there. So it is said in Bhagavatam, it is mentioned that Krishna first appeared in the mind of Vasudeva. From the mind of Vasudeva, he transferred himself to the mind of Devaki, and from the mind of Devaki, he transferred to the womb of Devaki. So clearly, he did not appear just like we have to take birth. So he did not take birth like that. Secondly, when Krishna was in the womb of Devaki, all the demigods came in the prison house of Kansa, and they prayed to Krishna in the womb of Devaki because they understood it's the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself in the womb of Devaki. They circumambulated Devaki and then they left. So there's a one full chapter in Bhagavatam 10th canto and prayers by the demigods. So again, so all the demigods, just imagine Brahma, Shiva, Indra, everybody, they came to pray to this womb of Devaki. So if there was just any regular, any ordinary person, why would all the demigods come to pray? So that also shows the womb of Devaki was occupied by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And when Krishna appeared at the right time, which we call it Janmashtami, call us Janmashtami now. So when he appeared with full hair. His head was full with full grown hair, and he was wearing a crown, and he had 4 hands, and he was carrying Shankha Chakra Gada Padma in the 4 hands. And as soon as he appeared, he started speaking with Vasudevji, and he told him that you about three births back, you asked for this you did this tapasya, you and your wife, and you asked for the benediction of a son like me, just like me. But there is nobody who's like me, so I agreed to become your son for 3 lifetimes. So this is the 3rd lifetime. So once he appeared as Vamandev, second he appeared as I'm forgetting, is Kapil Dev, if I'm not wrong. And third, he appeared as Krishna himself. And then Krishna told him that you better take me out of this prison house and take me to Gokul, to the house of Nanda Baba and Yashoda Maya. So Mother Devaki, because Krishna was just born, she prayed to Krishna that you please appear as a normal child. So Krishna, because of prayers of his mother, then he turned himself from the 4-handed to 2-handed form, and all his crown and all the jewels and all the Shankha Chakra Gada Padma, they all disappeared. So and Mother Devaki, because she knew that Krishna is going to go to Gokul now, so she fed him her breast milk. Of course, any mother. Obviously, it was too difficult for her to let the newborn baby go. But the Vatsalya Prem was there, and she wanted to make sure, because it's a long distance, and Krishna will get hungry, so motherly affection took over. So she fed him the first breast milk. And then when Vasudevji picked him up and put him in this basket to take him to Gokul, so all the handcuffs and all the other ropes, they just opened up, and he started walking, and the doors opened. All the soldiers or all the guards, security guards, they just fell asleep. So Vasudevji kept moving with Krishna in the basket on his head. And when Vasudevji came out of the prison house, so all the doors at every prison house, because he was kept way inside inside the prison house. So as soon as he would approach or gate, it would just open and the security guards would fall asleep. And then Indra wanted to serve Krishna because all the demigods they are servants of Krishna. So Indra thought, let me serve Krishna. So he asked the clouds to come and start raining. And it rained so heavily that night that it is said not even the street animals were on the street. No dogs, nothing. Why? Somebody can ask, why did Indra know that Krishna himself, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is going, and why would he rain so heavily that even Vasudevji had problem walking? But Indra's logic was that he wanted to make sure that nobody would hear anything about Vasudevji taking Krishna from Mathura to Gokul. Because if anybody would have heard the dogs barking, or like it's month of August or September, so people would be sleeping outside because it's not cold, it's hot. So at night, somebody could have woken up in the middle of the night seeing Vasudevji carrying Krishna in the basket. He could have raised some voice, or somebody could have seen them walking like that, and then they could have gone and informed Kansa. So Indra just wanted all these options to be out. So he made sure it rained so heavily that nobody would notice that Vasudevji is taking Krishna to Gokul. And then, obviously, when Krishna is going like that, and just like yesterday we discussed, when Krishna appears, all his incarnations, all his expansions appear in his body. So now Swayam Bhagwan Krishna is there. So and it is raining heavily. So Anantshesh appeared, and he appeared with this big hood, and he covered covered baby Krishna and Vasudevji with this hood, so none of the rain drops would fall on Vasudevji and Krishna. And it is said that he was walking behind. He wasn't walking on the side of Vasudevji, he was walking behind. Why? Because if Vasudevji would have seen, just turned, just with his slanting eyes, he would have seen such a big snake walking with him. What would have happened to him? So Anantshesh, he just walked behind without Vasudevji noticing that there's a big snake covering them with his hood. Now, it was raining heavily, and Yamunaji also, there was a flood in Yamunaji. Actually, that flood of Yamuna was because of rain, but mostly it was because she was in so much of ecstasy that Krishna has appeared and Krishna is going to come in my waters. She actually Yamuna ji is um, expansion of, if I remember correctly, Yamuna ji is expansion of Lalita Sakhi, they say. So, and she was thinking that Krishna is coming, my husband is coming. So she was in so much of ecstasy that water was increasing. The level of water was increasing. And now Vasudevji is carrying Krishna on his head in this basket. And Anantshesh is behind, and they both reached the banks of Yamuna. Now Vasudevji didn't know where and how to cross Yamuna because she was really in ecstasy. So then it is said a pair of jackals, so he and she jackal, they came and they showed where to enter Yamuna. It is said that was Indradev himself had come. So Vasudevji, of course, he was scared not for himself but for protection of Krishna. That seeing Yamuna, she was really rising. But Vasudevji was afraid of protection for Krishna, but at the same time, he remembered Krishna had asked him to take him to Gokul. So I mean, he was scared, but slowly, he he moved towards Yamuna. So when he moved like that, and of course here Prabhupada writes, Lord Krishna fell down in the waters of Yamuna. And some places it is said Yamuna, because Krishna was on the basket on the head of Vasudevji. So Krishna just took his feet from the basket, and he just let it down from the edges of the basket. And Yamuna ji, she came up, swelled up, up. And although Vasudevji was about to drown, because basket was on head of Vasudevji, but he still kept his cool. And Yamuna ji, she touched the lotus feet of Krishna, and then she settled down. She just went down. She calmed down. Here it is said, Lord Krishna fell down in the waters of Yamuna. That was again to give this mercy to Yamuna, that she wanted to touch the lotus feet of Krishna. And then when Krishna, Prabhupada writing, when Krishna fell down in the waters of Yamuna, and Yamuna was really swelling, and there was flood in Yamuna, Vasudevji became mad after his child as he tried to recover him in the midst of the rising river. So this was to do both, to enhance the feelings of Vasudev towards Krishna, and to satisfy Yamnaji. Krishna did this pastime. So then Uddhavji saying, and then Prabhupada is writing, these are all glorified pastimes of the Lord, and there is no contradictions in such manifestations. Since Krishna is the Supreme Lord, he was never afraid of Kamsa, but to please his father, he agreed to be so. So he was never afraid, but since Devaki and Vasudeva, they were really afraid because they had lost their 6 sons. And the 7th son, they didn't know that Balramji was transferred to the womb of Devaki, Rohini. They just thought that Devaki had a miscarriage. So losing 7 kids, of course, they would be afraid for the 8th kid. So just to please them, Krishna agreed to go to Gokul. And the most brilliant part of his supreme character was that he begged pardon from his parents for being unable to serve their feet while absent from home because of fear of Kamsa. So he's begging pardon from his parents. It's so sweetly he said, "Oh, because of fear of Kamsa, I could not serve. I could not serve your lotus feet." This is again to bring them back from this mood of awe and reverence. Krishna is playing this part. The Lord, whose lotus feet are worshipped by demigods like Brahma and Shiva, wanted to worship the feet of Vasudeva. Such instruction by the Lord to the world is quite appropriate. Even if one is the Supreme Lord, one must serve his parents. So great instructions for all of us. We think we have picked up beads by mercy of some devotees, by mercy of Prabhupada, and we have read some scriptures. We haven't understood any scripture, but we have read some scriptures. We have shaved off our head, we kept a shikha, we have put on dhoti kurta, we have put on kanti mala, and we are initiated. Now we don't have to serve our parents. Now we don't have to care for our parents. Now they are just Maya, because they don't chant, they don't worship Krishna, they don't chant, they don't eat prasadam. They still eat non-veg, or maybe they're drinking tea, they are still eating onion and garlic. So they are not devotees, I have nothing to do with that. This is nonsense philosophy. Complete nonsense. Look at what Prabhupada himself is writing. Prabhupada is our founder Acharya of ISKCON, and he's writing, even if one is the Supreme Lord, one must serve his parents. Of course, at the same time, one has to see that his bhakti is not stopped, his bhakti is not interrupted, but one must serve his parents. He should be grateful to his parents to bring him in this world, to have taken care of him in this material world, to have educated him properly. A son is indebted to his parents in so many ways, and it's a duty of the son to serve his parents, however great the son may be. Indirectly, Krishna wanted to teach the atheists who do not accept the supreme fatherhood of God, and they may learn from his action how much the supreme father has to be respected. Uddhava was simply struck with wonder by such glorious behavior of the Lord, and he was very sorry that he was unable to go with him. Unable to go with him means unable to go back to the spiritual world when Krishna unmanifested his pastimes. Because Krishna had asked Uddhava to remain in the material world and give consolation to Vidurji when he comes. So this was the instructions of Krishna to Uddhava, and Uddhava was in Vrindavan just waiting for Vidurji to come. So I guess I'll stop here, and I see two Matajis online also. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. Sorry, Hare Krishna. Sorry, I was just going to record and put it on YouTube, but please tell me.
So please accept my humble obeisance.
Please accept mine.
Are we only two today in the class?
Actually, this class was supposed to be only for recording. It wasn't a regular class.
Okay. So today there is no class?
No. I'll just record. I just finished recording and we'll put it on YouTube.
Okay.
It just happened to be the timing is.
Okay. Okay. I just joined and I thought, okay, the class will continue. So you just finished. So I was little surprised. How come?
I was recording before you joined.
Yes. So the last line I have heard, not line, few lines that Prabhupada said, if your parents are eating non-veg or tea or anything, like still you are chanting or doing the Lord's Seva and they are not been able to following that means they are not eligible. We cannot guess or judge a person like that. That's what you, Prabhupada.
No, Prabhupada, what Prabhupada's word is, even if one is a Supreme Lord, one must serve his parents. And then he writes, a son is indebted to his parents in so many ways and it is the duty of the son to serve his parents, however great the son may be. So rest was my realizations and my addition that even if we think, oh, my parents drink tea, so I don't have nothing to do with them, or they eat onion and garlic, I will not serve them. This is nonsense philosophy. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, because why I'm saying, as I am from Northeast, so we are brought up eating non-veg only since childhood.
Yeah,
and it's been more than 3 years with me. I have stopped eating non-veg at all after the realization. And but my parents, they are still eating everything. All the intoxicated food. Whenever I go home, I at least try to convince them for Hare Krishna Mahamantra chanting. I don't at all convince them for not to eat this, that. I also believe that they also have the intellect and they will also with time realize the way I have realized.
That's right.
Yeah, so as of now, they have started chanting and they have been practicing chanting on a regular basis, at least 7-8 rounds, and sometimes they make 16 rounds. I'm also praying that, they should themselves realize. So that means I wanted to know in future also, I don't know about other person, like whether in future also whether they are going to realize about it or they are going to really, leave these all types of food or not. But still, if a person continuously chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, till their last age, and if suppose the person will not be able to leave those non-veg or intoxicated food, that means that person will not get any salvation or Krishna's mercy.
Well, you're asking two different salvation or Krishna's mercy. Krishna's mercy is already there. See, if a person has given birth to a daughter who is a devotee, so the person cannot be an ordinary person.
Okay.
Simple. Like it is said, na, कि चमेली के पेड़ पे चमेली का फूल आता है.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are born in that family, so obviously they are devotees. Of course, they are doing these activities. They haven't realized that's all, but they are devotees. They have done performed devotional service in their last lives.
Mm-hmm.
So, so okay, few more lifetimes. That's not a problem. But if they have
Okay.
chanted Krishna's name, and even if they have eaten meat, and even if they
Mm-hmm.
are still eating meat, but Krishna's holy name is so powerful. It can remove all the reactions of any sinful activities.
Mm.
So
Right.
they will get good birth next life if they haven't given up eating meat and or taken up bhakti seriously. That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
They'll get good birth.
Okay.
How many of us can be really assured of that? This is my last birth.
Mm. Mm.
We
Right.
can't. So
Yeah.
how can we expect the others that no, this I want you to have this your last birth? No, we cannot. It's all up to
Mm-hmm.
Krishna. So only
Mm-hmm.
point what Prabhupada is writing, what I was making is we devotees become very fanatic.
Mm-hmm.
And that is wrong. That's all.
Yeah. Right.
Just serve your parents nicely, even if they're eating meat. They have given you
Mm-hmm.
birth. Serve them nicely. And with this behavior, not with the philosophy. Some see everybody's on different platform. Every parent is on different platform. So
Mm.
sometimes it's not possible for them to preach philosophy. So okay, preach them with your behavior. Nice, gentle, compassionate, service mode.
Mm-hmm.
That's all parents want to see actually.
Yeah.
And
True.
and and once the parents become well wishers, they become positive. You just imagine how many people they're going to tell positively about you, about your Krishna consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
So many. And if they become negative because of our fanatic behavior, how many people they're going to go and tell, do not ever let your kid go near ISKCON.
Mm-hmm. True.
So how negative that preaching is.
Actually, that is very true. Why I have lot of associations from different religion like Buddhism community, Christian community, and mom dance. I have few friends also.
Hmm.
All of them are very good friend of mine, and we mostly gather together, and we never discuss about religion and all, because they have their own belief system and they have been practicing. I do visit with them their churches or stupa or all these places,
Hmm.
and all of them normally eats all this stuff, non-veg and all. But besides, I have noticed that their prayer, the way they pray, especially in Christian community, whenever I attend their prayer session and all,
Hmm.
their prayers, I also find it very strong. I mean, at the moment when they pray, they don't think at all about anything. And even I have seen that they have healed so many people, even their parents, some of my friends who are having some health issues, they have healed only through prayer. So that's why sometimes I used to think that okay, in our religion we have, okay, it is very good, we should I mean maintain all the disciplines to go one step further. But they don't have this kind of rules. They eat everything and still they pray, and they can still be able to heal themselves, or I don't know, I mean I have noticed. So sometimes I think that okay, I mean this is how they believe, and this is what we have been taught by our masters, and that's why we are following. But ultimately every humankind has their own intellect, and they should know what to do and what not to do, rather than compelling them to do something. I mean that's how one gets very fanatic. I mean
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
earlier like that. I mean 4 years back, when I went to for ISKCON, when I went to ISKCON temple, people have started telling them, no, are you taking non-veg, then you cannot touch this, you cannot do like this. I mean that's
Hmm.
how you cannot even go to the next level. You cannot even get an opportunity to know the depth about the philosophy also. But somehow
Hmm.
in the beginning I got to meet Radha Krishna Prabhuji, and he was so positive and he inspires in a such a way that after a few years only I got the realization that I have stopped. Nobody has compelled me. I mean, it
Mhm.
should be like that actually. The
Yep,
master, I believe that.
yep, yep.
Yeah. So,
Even Prabhupada in the beginning, when he was taking care of all these hippies who would come to him, and when they got ready for initiation, after initiation, Prabhupada told them, "Oh, by the way, you have to follow these four regulative principles."
yeah, very nice. This is
So
what.
we have to give positive instead of harping on the negatives. We have to give
Hmm.
positive, like you rightly said. Ask them to chant. That's all.
Hmm.
Rest, everything, chanting will take care of.
Okay. Yeah, so this is a very nice. I mean, I was not aware. Suddenly, I don't know why. Maybe I logged in to hear about this or to question about this because these doubts were there in my mind since long. So it's got clear that Prabhupada also taught, I mean, his disciple like that only.
In the beginning,
So
yes, but
in the
later,
beginning, yeah.
obviously, he had to set up
Of
the
course, of course.
institution,
True, true.
set up the principles. But main principle is when we become or when we are trying to become devotees. I'm not saying we are devotees yet. We are
Mm-hmm.
struggling. We are trying. The main quality that we have to develop is compassion,
Yes,
humility, tolerance, compassion.
right.
Have compassion for the souls, not force and rules and this and that. I don't know. Like you said, no? When you started coming and you were still eating non-veg, and they were saying, "Oh, you cannot touch this, you cannot do this." What
Yeah,
nonsense!
especially altar. And so, okay, that's fine. I mean, now I have observed that the friends who visit my place, the other religion friend, now they themselves have started saying that we know that non-veg is actually non-veg should not be a prime food for us, but due to our own um, habit and nature and craving, we are not being able to stop it. One of my friend recently said so. I was feeling so good hearing that she is realizing it, but she's not been able to completely, I mean, leave this um,
Hmm.
habit. So
Yeah.
that means they themselves know. I mean, in other religion also, okay, this is actually not good for their health. But still, I mean,
Hmm.
because of regular habits of eating, they are still trying their best to probably living. Earlier, we used to have a lot of, I mean, different talks on this matter, this matter. And nowadays, I have noticed that all of them come and they really enjoy the food which I cook, like
Yeah, yeah.
without,
Prashadam
yeah.
has lots of potency, lots of potency. Like I'm here in America. I in with office people. Sometimes I have to go for lunch or dinner, and I
Hmm.
always take vegan option, no onion, no garlic. And they, of course, they appreciate that, and they do tell me it's very nice. But they themselves say we have no option. We have been raised like this,
Hmm.
and we
Right.
don't know what we're going to eat if we become vegetarian. I said
Hmm.
it's okay. You eat whatever you're eating. I'm not going to preach them on vegetarianism now.
Yeah, yeah.
But at least they're appreciating it. That's more important.
Yeah, that's very important actually.
Yeah.
So yes, because the way you preach or the way you see the world or understand the matters, because since you have been also associated with so many different cultures, like you stay in the other part of the
Hmm.
world, so you have
Hmm.
also have different associations. That's how it's like you see. Otherwise, I mean, if we go to other, I mean, great some teachers, they become so fanatic. I sometimes feel like not to even listen. So this is how it happens. So the master one should be like you or like Prabhupada, so that anybody or any religion people can also come and adopt this spiritual path. That's how like it should be. I feel.
No, master should not be like me. He should be like Prabhupada. I'm nobody. Come on.
You,
I'm
you will,
nobody. I'm just a
you will
fallen
always say like
soul.
that.
I know what I am. I'm a fallen soul trying, struggling here big time. But yes, Prabhupada. Prabhupada is ultimate guru, and we should try to follow him.
But anyway, I'm very much grateful. Even though I get to attend only one session from you once a week, still I can really, I mean, relate with all your, teaching. So I'm very much thankful for that. And thank you for so much.
Thank you.
I could hear only 5 minutes of lecture. It was
But
nice.
we had good discussion.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Hare Krishna
Prabhuji.
Prabhu ji, Hare Krishna Prabhu ji, Dandavat Pranam.
Danda Pralam Prabhu ji, kaise hain?
आशीर्वाद है प्रभु जी आपका all well. I agree to what Mosmi Mata ji said. In fact, your way of teaching the Siksha Guru is actually in fact very unique, not compelling or not forcing